Good morning. Call to order this January 14th Cape Fear Public Utility Authority Board meeting. Happy New Year to everyone. First, we need a motion to excuse two members for today, Mr. Joyner and Mrs. Adams.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? With that, we'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as presented today.
So moved. Question, Pat.
Oh, go ahead, Mrs. Sister.
Last committee report seemed like it was the same one that was last month, excuse me.
Which committee, sir?
The Human Resources Committee meetings of 11/12. It was also part of the, if you look at the minutes from the last meeting, it was.
We accidentally had carried those minutes over. I took them out last night, so they're not the electronic version, but it's probably in the one that I printed for you on Friday. But HR committee did not meet this past month, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. A motion for the agenda.
Motion to approve as amended if necessary.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we'll have the approval of our minutes from our last meeting. Dr. Cannon.
Yes, Mr. Smith, if there is no irregularity detected on the minutes as from our December 10th meeting, I would entertain, if there's no discussion, a motion to approve those minutes.
I'm with my eye on it real carefully.
Thank you. I'm very reassured by that, I'll just say. Thank you very much.
So moved, ma'am.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, without any public comments, any speakers today? No speakers? That moves into our consent agenda. We have 3 items on the agenda today. Take any questions, discussions, or a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to say thank you for item B, the basically doing our lighting upgrade project. And congratulations to the staff and administration for making this happen. I know we've been working on it for literally several years, so yahoo. And with that, I'll make a motion, if there are no other questions, to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move into our new business administrative reports. Attorney's report, Nicolette.
So just briefly, thank you everybody for your feedback regarding the board retreat. We have that scheduled for January 30th at Halliburton Park. Agenda will be coming to you in the next few days. It is going to be very casual affair, so looking forward to that. And I do have one item for a closed session, so we will need a closed session item for CFPUA versus conversion. Other than that, that is all we have.
Thank you.
If I might add, we're going to be missing a few board members, 2 of the executive committee in particular. So we've structured this as an informational-only activity. We're not suggesting that the board take any facilitated response to what we're getting at that meeting. But it is information heavy. So we will probably try to deliver some early reading to you and give you some time after that meeting to absorb it and ask us questions.
Okay. With that, we'll go into our executive director's report. Ken?
Yes, before you have the executive director's report, including the key indicators, safety report, environmental report, strategic plan update, and the economic development projects update. Staff stands ready to take questions on any of those 5 standing reports.
Mr. Chair, I've got some questions and comments on key indicators, environmental report, and the strategic plan update. Let me know if it's okay to move into those questions. Yep, thank you.
Go ahead.
The first one, the key indicators, on page 81, the development services. We're seeing clearly over the last 12 months, steady increases in building permits and requests for information. But the actual inspections, excuse me, I was trying to read my own notes here, is flat. So I think you have to kind of look at it to see, seeing everything else, all the indicators are going up. and yet our inspections, the thing that really counts or really, means that there's jobs happening, is going flat. Am I missing something, or is this of any concern?
Actually, it's a lagging indicator. So if you think about the development review process, entity in our community decides to develop, they make inquiries of ourselves and the land use administrators.
Right.
That's part of your report. How many inquiries are we getting? How many questions are we answering? Then they come to our land use administrating partners, either the city or county. They, if they're necessary, they go through a rezoning. Otherwise, they submit plans. Those plans come to us, so you see the plan review process. Post-plan review, our development partners then start building infrastructure. That's when the inspections component comes in. So what you're seeing is the front end of this process, there's a clear trend in terms of upward mobility or upward numbers. It hasn't followed through to the end where we're inspecting the infrastructure they dedicate to us
Yet. Got it.
And I would note that doesn't necessarily mean that they're linked. Questions about development do not always lead to the decision to develop and dedicate infrastructure.
Thank you. Next question is on page 85, days billed outstanding at 31.1. Just wanted to indicate, or put a highlight on it, that is a 12-month low. And this is an indicator that we've spent in the past a lot of time on, which means that people are paying their bills. So I think a lot goes into that. I just wanted to highlight and, to congratulate the staff for obviously answer questions that are coming through the door are being answered. And to me, it says a pleased customer. So well done. Page 86, the bill affordability. Always, again, ties into my previous comment. Is there a chance that we could track Brunswick, Pender, and Onslow on that same chart? It's a long way of getting to, I think we're doing an excellent job with bill affordability. It's not, we set our own internal goal, and then we also know what the EPA goal is, but I believe if we look regionally, we're going to see that we're doing an excellent job in comparison to our, certainly our regional partners here in Southeast North Carolina.
If I might briefly, and then if I misstep and misstate, I'll ask our CFO to come up. That metric is a CFPUA-centric metric using best practice from our professional agencies. We created that for our service area. If you want to see comparisons, we really have to fall back on the metrics that are used at the state and federal level, the EPA. There may be an opportunity to work with our partners for them to develop their own version of this, that we might be able to then to do some cross comparisons. I think probably more relevant would be trying to get our largest utilities in the state. We're the 7th largest utility. So if we get the 10 largest utilities to do something similar, that would give you a better picture. But right now, this is very CFPUA-centric, and we don't have a comparison that we could use to let you know, all right, how are we doing compared to our neighbors. I will say that John and team are researching some additional common metrics that if we can find them, we're going to report out as part of the work session, the retreat.
I'll leave that in your hands. John, it's really just as a positive shine on yourself and your team in putting this metric together, and you as well, Ken. I just think if we can compare it to anything other than the EPA, which we have in there, I think people are going to notice in a really positive way of how hard we have worked, I know on this board, the time I've been here, to keep that affordability in line there. And at, I think it's 1.75% in this last report. That's excellent. But without anything really to compare to, it's like, whoop, so what? What does this mean? I think we're beating the pants off Brunswick, Pender, and our other counties. But if you've got another way to show that metric, I just want to say we should shine on it, that's all.
We do. In the annual report, and on the 20th, I'll be giving the annual report to our county partners. We always provide the share of medium household income metric on an annual basis, and consistently, our customers pay a lower share of median household income than Pender County, Brunswick County, Fayetteville. So that is the metric that I think you're looking at. That's one that we can grab off of various data sources and show you. Let us take this feedback and see what we can do and give you some answers in the near future.
Thank you. Moving on to environmental report. On page 106, the Richardson plant total suspended solids. There clearly was a spike in this last month. I mean, more than doubled in that particular metric. Is that something that we should be aware of, or is that just a one-off? Anybody know anything about it?
With these one-off spikes,
Yeah.
unless we see some type of corresponding issue in the effluent, which is where we're measured for compliance,
Yeah.
generally I don't have a concern, but I will ask staff to research that and with your permission, report something back in the weekly update.
I'll look forward to that. I like my suspended solids. On page 101, the sanitary sewer overflows. I noted that we had a significant overflow of 18.7 thousand gallons. It looked like it was a pipe failure on a force main up on North College Road. Is this associated with any of the expansion projects that are up in that area?
No, sir,
Yeah,
it's
the
not.
Northern Regional Park?
No,
Blue
sir.
Clay?
It's
Yeah.
it's an infrastructure failure. So as you may recall, we do have significant aging
Yeah.
in aspects of our infrastructure. Force mains is one of them. Water lines is the other. We are on track in terms of our own metrics in terms of trying to replace force mains. We're not there for water lines. But there's no correlation. I will say it does my heart good for you to say a significant spill is 18,000 gallons. For other utilities, that would be a good day in a bad week, right, or a good
Yeah.
day. So 18 is bad. We don't want 1 gallon.
Yeah.
But it's a far better response and a far better number than
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of gallons, which our neighbors have had. Don't
Yeah.
want to bring any bad luck on us.
And in the past, back when it was city and county, yeah, they used to have that. My last comment, and I thank you for your patience, is on page 112. It's under the strategic plan update. I noted the computer proficiency program that we have started, begins in January. It's a partnership with Cape Fear Community College. 180 employees have already enrolled. This is teaching computer proficiency,
It is.
offered for free to our employees.
It is.
Not only makes them better employees, but makes them better citizens, and yes, on what we're doing here with, within the organization. CFPUA, I feel it's a real good sign of leadership on our part and kind of bringing up our entire workforce. So thank you for the program.
You're welcome, sir. We'll ask HR, after we've made ourselves through the program, to do a write-up for the weekly update. I will say we had a little bit of a debate. There is an online testing program to test your proficiency. We considered offering that to our board as an opportunity and offering this training. And after going through the test myself, I was a little bit afraid that how it might be received. But let me now make the option that if you would like to go through that training, send me an email. We'll send you, or not the training, but the proficiency test. We'll send you the link, and then you can judge for yourself whether you would like to have some additional IT proficiency training, and we'll might arrange something for you.
I think just I'm sure there's a component about cybersecurity and the sensitivity around that with the recent business that happened up in Pender County. I think it would behoove all of us to at least take a look at that one section. The hacks have become so sophisticated. I know I heard of one over the holiday season. I know we all received those digital Christmas cards and one within our own organization here at the county. Someone who knows and has gone through the training actually clicked on it, and it took them right to, you think it's, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, clicked on it, boom, and they were in. So, and I don't know what the fix on that particular one is, because it's so common to get those digital cards like that, but anyway.
It's training and awareness. I
Yeah.
want to thank the board for its continued investment in our information technology team. We have 2 positions for that purpose. And I don't want to burden you with too many things. You're all got real jobs. Some of you got secondary jobs and tertiary jobs. But this year, we want to offer you as many opportunities for training, skill training, as you would like to take advantage of. So we'll send you some emails. You saw one here recently. If you would like to learn more about this proficiency training, send myself and Lori an email, and we'll be glad to offer you some support.
That's all I had, Mr. Chair. Thank you again for your patience.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Sorry, if I could go back to one of the things Rob touched on, just since we were talking about it, on the bill affordability metrics. I know you definitely were doing some cheerleading, but I was just looking back at this
Yeah.
old data. I haven't thought about it in like a year, but John, the red line is our calculation of, for our customers who are earning less than the self-sufficiency standard, our bills are still, it looks like 100% higher than our metric for them.
Yeah, what the red line represents is it kind of represents a hypothetical customer in our service area that earns the exact amount of income needed to afford all essential goods and services. So that's housing, that's food, health care, utilities, right? And it looks at what the subsistence cost of water is as a percentage of that level of income. The thought behind it is, okay, they have that customer, that theoretical customer has all of the income that they need to afford all of those things, including our services. So what we're looking at is where there are census tracts, because that's kind of as granular as we can get, where there are census tracts that on average, the cost of their water and wastewater bills as a percentage of the median household income in those census tracts is a higher percentage than that theoretical customer. What that really kind of means is it's very likely that there's a high percentage of customers there that are getting squeezed basically by our bills. So they are the cost of our services is kind of forcing these trade-offs, whether to trade off water and sewer service for food or for medicine or for other things, right? And so this metric just recognizes it's that the cost of our services is just one element in this broad array of things that are necessary, right? And so what our goal is for us to kind of be at that red line. What the other lines represent is the actual average percentage of income for those census tracts that have median household incomes lower than that self-sufficiency standard. So we're concentrating on just lower income areas. And so, yeah, is that a
Yeah.
good explanation?
Just recognizing that our bills are still more affordable than our most financially pressed customers in a perfect world would be. They're still more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? All right, thank you, Ken. Move on to committee reports. Executive Committee met on January the 7th. Those minutes are in the packet. No questions on that. We'll move on. Long Range Planning Committee did not meet last month, Mr. Hackney. So with that, we'll move on to Finance Committee. Mr. Smith?
The minutes are in your packet. If there are no questions on that, on the minutes,
Then we'll move into the financial reports, monthly financials. John?
So I don't have anything specific to report this morning. What I do want to mention is we finally have printed copies of the annual comprehensive financial reports. Normally, those would have been distributed back in, I guess, November. But the federal audit guidance was held up, and so our audit opinions were a little later than normal. So we had the audit issued by last meeting, but we didn't have enough time to get them turned around from the printer, so we have those. But I stand ready to answer any questions that you might have on the monthly financial report.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question about this, or do you want to hold
Sure.
that? So the thing that, just quick glance, stood out was the recognition of infrequent items, which I've never seen. I've seen them in analyst situations, but typically not in an audit. And I understand that after reading the MD&A quickly, it looks like it's for the SCADA system and the Wrightsville.
It's it's all attributable to the Wrightsville Beach consolidation. So what GAAP tells us is for what are called mergers or acquisitions or transfers of operations. That's actually the technical term. That the Wrightsville Beach consolidation meets is amounts related to those transactions should be treated as infrequent items. And so we normally don't have any infrequent items because they're infrequent, but this is one where the accounting standards tell us that we actually have to report as an infrequent item.
Okay. So what keyed me into this was just looking at the trend data. Of course, FY22, you had tons of infrequent items. I assume that was because of COVID. The P&L is weak that year, right? Or down if you look at the trend data.
There should not be a specific item in FY22 on the infrequent items line.
No, there's not, but I didn't know if it was in the supplemental information, if it would be typical. I wasn't understanding that it was GAAP. I was thinking, obviously, there were infrequent items that you would have explained historically of why you might have had a weak year or a good year.
Oh.
But it wasn't in the charts. That was what I was trying to understand.
Gotcha. Yeah, we will, never in our history have we ever reported in the income statement or the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position is what it's called, a explicit line for the infrequent items. We'll never do that unless there's these one-off situations that GAAP requires that we do. And this just happened to be one of the years. Now, in this upcoming year, for next fiscal year, there will also be some Wrightsville Beach consolidation stuff. Right, so we have more of their remaining fund balance coming over. The value of their fixed assets will all be in that line as well. So there kind of be two back-to-back years while we're transferring over the net position basically from Wrightsville Beach over to us. That's going to be reflected in that line. And the reason why they do that is because we don't want to stick it up in a revenue line, and it's kind of like an outlier, and it disrupts the trend or prevents you from looking at a nice solid trend, like kind of apples to apples, because this is such an outlier type thing.
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
If I might add some information, and it's relevant because of all of these unique funding sources that we're getting in. We received news that we've received a congressional special appropriation of $750,000. It is in the FY26 Interior Environment and Related Agencies Appropriations Act, which is there was a joint committee putting that together. It has made it through the House. It's expected to make it through the Senate, and it's expected to be signed into law by the President. Congressman Rouser offered us that special appropriation. It is for the last 3.8 miles of raw water line that are on our side of the meter connecting ourselves to the Lower Cape Fear Water and Sewer Authority. Now, that is a $27 million project. This is a long process, but the idea is for us to take that money, go to the Corps of Engineers, work in partnership with the Corps of Engineers to study it, and then in a perfect world, the Corps of Engineers agrees that this is something that's necessary for the region, and they lobby for 75% of the funding, about $20 million. I learned Monday that Congressman Rausser's office is putting together the Water Resource Development Act appropriations requests. So I may need to take a quick trip to Washington to work with our lobbyists to try to get some information in to try to secure funding in that biannual funding. So it may happen before your next board meeting. I probably should give you that notice. The good news is, though, we've got money, and I think we're on track, with no guarantee, but I think we're on track to maybe get most of that project funded on a federal level over the next, say, 5-6 years.
Ken, in that same bill, there's also another $750,000 for a fourth pump out at Kings Bluff, which has it sounds kind of mundane, actually really important for backup and for to make sure that the redundant pipe that we spent $60 million putting in so far will continue to work, into the future. So 2 really good pots of money came out of that bill. The one for us directly and the one they're both for us that will work for us.
That's right. Actually, I thank you for reminding me of that. That is for the Lower Cape Fear. It is, I think, about half of the cost of the project.
Yeah.
It will provide the firm capacity of 96 million gallons a day. That, in combination with the 10 million gallons that we have at the Cape Fear pumping station, will ensure that the full 106 million gallons per day of design capacity that we've all divided within the region is delivered to us. That project is permitted. We're very excited about it. Kudos to our congressional delegation for bringing that our way.
And also, could you just say a word or two about the importance of that 3.8-mile last section? We've got 26 miles of redundant pipe that have been put in, but it doesn't do us much good here at Cape Fear Public Utility Authority until we get that last 3.8 miles. It's the missing link. It is really important to us.
Well, to have full resiliency and redundancy,
Yeah.
which was the intention of that project. And again, I need to give credit where credit is due. Our state delegation brought to our region $53.5 million out of a $61 million project to provide us with that resiliency and redundancy. And that resiliency and redundancy, when that $60 million project is done, will serve Pender County and Brunswick County, but we still need to close this 3.8 mile gap so we can also enjoy that full resiliency and redundancy. Thus the work with Congressman Rausser's office to find alternative funding solutions.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. We've got 2 action items. They're related. One is for the award of a construction contract for the South Castle Hayne Road water main, and the other is for the construction-related services for the design firm. A couple of things to note before you have any further discussion. This is a lot of horizontal directional drill, which means that when you look at the cost related to the length of the pipe, it's a little bit higher than you would expect, just because of the nature of the type of construction. The other thing to point out is that, again, we're having multiple bids finally on projects of this significance. And the range of these bids they were all within 5%, which is really shows that we're getting a lot of competition on this. The other thing is that it's, let's see, the $7.3 million for this low bid was well below the, not only well below the engineer's estimate of $10.8 million, but it's also, I think, in our capital improvement plan, we had budgeted something a little over $11 million. So this is a significant reduction in money that can be put somewhere else. So are there any questions related to either one of these?
Mr. Chair, or
Yes,
William, just a quick comment for those who are new on the board. This is a complete reversal of where we were 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, where we were constantly getting an engineer's estimate, and then the bids that were coming in were far exceeding that. To have this reverse back the other way, we're hoping is a trend. So we don't, I mean, it's just really great news. There's a lot wrapped into that, and hopefully, over time, it'll prove to see significant savings off our budgeted CIP, capital improvement projects.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
do we have a thumbnail sketch explanation for this? Is this the Bill Smith effect? What are we talking about?
I'm sorry?
How do we explain this good news?
Well, I'm taking all the credit for it, thank you.
You're
It's-
talking about the pricing curves?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of mentioned in the committee, I mean, it's, you know, we were going through a time, I mean, this is typical but a little bit elevated. I mean, we were going through a time with major escalation after COVID. And so engineers' estimates were very low because they were using data sets that were prior to COVID. As prices went up, they were missing the mark. So from the time the engineer does the estimate to the time the project is actually bid, that escalation, you know, 40-some%, didn't account for those estimates. Because engineers are using just standard data sets. And so now, you know, everything escalated, and so now things are stabilizing or falling. PVC products are falling, you know, somewhat. And so we're kind of on the other side of that. So the engineers' estimates acclimated to the escalated pricing, and now the pricing is falling. And so it's just that kind of constant curve. They're trying to catch up with the trends. And I mean, this has happened before, but this was just a lot more than typical. So, and that's kind of, and it's good news, but I see that every day, and I think, I'm confident that's what we're seeing.
I think we should still give credit.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, Bill's definitely in charge of all of that, but,
Can you put that in the minutes?
Motion to approve both items.
Is there a second?
all in favor? All right. All right, next, Sustainability Committee, no meeting this month. I think Human Resources Committee, same. Mr. Miller, there was no meeting. All right, well, that concludes our agenda. We need to take a motion.
Motion to enter into closed session to discuss CFPUA versus Comores.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's Mr. Haggerty, Ms. Bellamy, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Morse, and Ms. Eckert, and Mr. McLean.
I think everybody stays.
Exactly.
Almost.